Hello, and welcome to chapter 10 of Matthew. I was like, where are we at? Even though I'm looking at it, I have it all the way out here already. Anyways. Oh, silly me. All right, chapter 10 of Matthew. I guess we're just going to dig right in today. And let's pray first. Dear Lord, thank you so much that we can be here today to read your word. Please let us gain wisdom, knowledge, and understanding from it. And thank you so much for everyone that could be here. All right, so chapter 10 of Matthew. It's the 12 harvest hands. The prayer was no sooner started than it was answered. Jesus called 12 of his followers and sent them into the ripe fields. He gave them power to kick out the evil spirits and to tenderly care for the bruised and hurt lives. This is the list of the 12 that he sent. Simon, they called him Peter or Rock. Andrew, his brother. James, Zebedee's son. John, his brother. Philip, Bartholomew. Thomas, Matthew the taxman. James, son of Alphaeus. Thaddeus, Simon the Canaanite. Judas Iscariot, who later turned on him. Jesus sent his 12 harvest hands out with this charge. Don't begin by traveling to some far-off place to convert unbelievers, and don't try to be dramatic by tackling some public enemy. Go to the lost, confused people right here in the neighborhood. Tell them that the kingdom is here. Bring health to the sick, raise the dead, touch the untouchables, kick out the demons. You have been treated generously, so live generously. Don't think you have to put on a fundraising campaign before you start. You don't need a lot of equipment. You are the equipment. And all you need to keep that going is 3 meals a day. Travel light. When you enter a town or village, don't insist on staying in a luxury inn. Get a modest place with some modest people and be content there until you leave. When you knock on a door, be courteous in your greeting. If they welcome you, be gentle in your conversation. If they don't welcome you, quietly withdraw. Don't make a scene. Shrug your shoulders and be on your way. You can be sure that on Judgment Day they might be sorry, but it's no concern of yours now. Stay alert. This is hazardous work I'm assigning you. You're going to be like sheep running through a wolf pack, so don't call attention to yourselves. Be as shrewd as a snake, inoffensive as a dove. Don't be naive. Some people will question your motives. Others will smear your reputation just because you believe in me. Don't be upset when they haul you before the civil authorities. Without knowing it, they've done you and me a favor, given you a platform for preaching the kingdom news. And don't worry about what you'll say or how you'll say it. The right words will be there. The Spirit of your Father will supply the words. When people realize it is the living God you're presenting and not some idol that makes them feel good, they are going to turn on you, even people in your own family. There is great irony there. There's great irony here, proclaiming so much love and experiencing so much hate. But don't quit. Don't cave in. It is all well worth it in the end. It is not success you are afraid. I can't talk. It is not success you are after in such times, but survival. Be survivors. Before you've run out of options, the Son of Man will have arrived. A student doesn't get a better desk than her teacher. A laborer doesn't make more money than his boss. Be content, pleased, even when you, my students, my harvest hands, get the same treatment I get. If they call me the master dung face, what can the workers expect? Don't be intimidated. Eventually, everything is going to be out in the open and everyone will know how things really are. So don't hesitate to go public now. Don't be bluffed into silence by the threats of bullies. There's nothing they can do to your soul, your very core being. Save your fear for God, who holds your entire life, body, and soul in his hands. Forget about yourself. What's the price of a pet canary? Some loose change, right? And God cares what happens to it even more than you do. He pays even greater attention to you, down to the last detail, even numbering the hairs on your head. So don't be intimidated by all this bully talk. You're worth more than 1,000,000 canaries. Stand up for me against the world. Stand up for me against the world opinion, and I'll stand up for you before my Father in heaven. If you turn tail and run, do you think I'll cover for you? Don't think I've come to make life cozy. I've come to make a sharp knife cut between son and father, daughter and mother, bride and mother-in-law. Cut through these cozy domestic arrangements and free you for God. Well-meaning family members can be your worst enemies. If you prefer father or mother over me, you don't deserve me. If you prefer son or daughter over me, you don't deserve me. If you don't go all the way with me, through thick and thin, you don't deserve me. If your first concern is to look after yourself, you'll never find yourself. But if you forget about yourself and look to me, you'll find both yourself and me. We are intimately linked in this harvest work. Anyone who accepts what you do accepts me, the one who sent you. Anyone who accepts what I do accepts my Father who sent me. Accepting a messenger of God is as good as being God's messenger. Accepting someone's help is as good as giving someone help. This is a large work I've called you into, but don't be overwhelmed by it. It's best to start small. Give a cool cup of water to someone who's thirsty, for instance. The smallest act of giving or receiving makes you a true apprentice. You won't lose out on a thing. Okay, so that's not this week's. We're doing this 3 times a week. That's today's passage. So those are the 12 disciples, or as the Message calls them, the 12 harvest hands. And I know, so I always ask you guys, comment below what stood out to you, like what impacted what spoke to you. So what hit me, this is probably, I don't know how many times I brought this, but today what spoke to me. We always think the 12 disciples always stuck with Jesus. They always went everywhere with him. But that's not true. Before he died, he did in fact send them out on their own to do disciple work. And I know that, but I always forget it. So that's something that today, like, hey, Erica. And what really spoke to me today, I feel like a lot of times people think like, I'm going to go be a missionary. And they're like, well, I'm going to go to the farthest corner of the world to someone population that's never heard about God. But this literally states, like, don't begin by traveling to some far off place to convert unbelievers. And don't be dramatic by tackling some public enemy. Go to the lost, confused people right here in the neighborhood. Tell them that the kingdom is here. Bring health to the sick. Raise the dead. Touch the untouchables. Kick out demons. You have been treated generously, so live generously. Don't think you have to put on a fundraising campaign before you start. You don't need a lot of equipment. You are the equipment. And all you need to keep that going is 3 meals a day. Travel light. When you enter a town, don't insist on staying in a luxury inn. Get a modest place with some modest people and be content there until you leave. Knock on a door. Be courteous in your greeting. If they welcome you, be gentle in your conversation. And if they don't welcome you, withdraw. Gently withdraw. Don't make a scene. Shrug your shoulders and be on your way. So, if people don't want to hear what you have to say, That's okay. They don't, don't be a bully about it. Don't be pushy. They either want to hear what you say or they don't want to hear what you have to say. And you don't have to force people to hear what you have to say. They either want to hear it or they don't. And if they don't want to hear it, that's fine. Talk about something else, or as the states, just say, okay, bye. That's fine. And you don't have to say anywhere fancy. Literally, you could probably just, you could probably stay at your house and like just talk to your coworkers. And it literally says, bring health to the sick. Take care of people that are sick. Like, so just, I don't know. That really talked to me. And then forget about yourself. It's talking about how God cares what happens to you even more than you do. He pays even greater attention to you, down to the last detail, even the number of hairs on your head. Do you know how much hair is on your head? I surely have no clue how much hair is on my head. And I know that there's new hairs growing every day and there's hairs falling out every day. So the number, even if I could count how much hair is on my head today, surely there would be a different number of hair on my head tomorrow. So, and how many birds are out there? Like, I think some of these translations say sparrows, some say canaries. How many birds are out there? I mean, really, there's a gabillion. Like, I don't know the exact number, but there's a ton of birds out there. And if God cares about me more than a bird that truly is cared about, because those little birds, they find water, they find food, they find shelter. Those birds are living a great life. If God cares about me more than a bird, I am truly cared for. And then it's reminding us that, like, our relationship with God is more important than any relationship on earth. Like, it's more important than my relationship with my mom. It's more important than any relationship with any of my sisters. It's more important than my relationship with my husband. Like, it just matters more. So, and we need to care about people. Like, saying don't get overwhelmed by helping someone, but also, giving a cup of water to someone who's thirsty. The smallest act of giving or receiving makes us a true apprentice. And it talks about, like, accepting help. I have a hard time accepting help. I know that whenever I had my hysterectomy, the hysterectomy is still pretty fresh. If you get tired of hearing about it, sorry. Like, I had a very difficult time accepting help. So I guess we need to remember to be humble. We need to accept help just as much as we give help. Accepting help isn't a weakness. All right, guys, give me your comments. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe and follow. And I'll see you guys next time. And let me know your thoughts too.